Hi there. Okay, today's topic is going to be forgiveness. Forgiveness is probably the greatest gift I've ever given myself. It took time, it was hard. I had to teach myself a lot of new thinking patterns and just ways to look at things. But as soon as I learned to like wholeheartedly forgive, I was set free and I never felt better. And it's really a gift that you give to yourself, not so much the person that you're forgiving. Um, you know, Most people would say the four most important things to survival would be food, water, sleep, and perhaps chocolate. I would say the four most important things are food, water, sleep, and the ability to forgive. It's honestly something that I can't imagine not having in my life. That tool has just kind of really set me free and, helped me shape who I am today. Today I'm going to share three different scenarios in my life where forgiving was really hard and, kind of what I did to get through it. The first one, when I split up with my ex-husband, I had this huge support system, so many friends, and, he played for a basketball team, and that whole organization was just, that was my family, and it was tons and tons of people, and overnight, I went from this humongous family to being this small boat in this huge ocean, and there were so many people I expected more out of. There were people that I just didn't think, would turn on me that way. But at first I was hurt, I was mad, I just wanted to run into them, I wanted to say something to them. And then, as time passed, I just learned to forgive and let go and understand that, sometimes it wasn't even really about me. It was just, how they choose to live their life or whatever reasons they have. And I just let go. And, in due time, those same people started friend requesting me on Facebook. When they would run into me, I'd get the biggest, most sincere hug. And, not a verbal apology necessarily, but you just saw it in their eyes that, at the time we had to do what we had to do and support our player, but we love you and da da da. And so again, there was no reason for me to hold on to that. It just would have done nothing but bog me down and fill me with hate. A second, not a specific scenario, but I've had situations in my life where really good friends, people that were like in my really tight circle, have betrayed me. I had one incident where I found out somebody had been stealing from me for over a year, and it was a really big amount. And I did like think I would never forgive this person because it was someone that I'd let in my home, somebody that I trusted. But you know what? At the end of the day, when it came down to it, and we had to take it to the authorities, and they asked me, what do you want to do? Do you want, to make this person serve time, or do you want them to just, kind of pay you slowly, pay you back, and then do some community service? And I just thought to myself, you know what? Revenge isn't mine to give, and not making excuses for this person, but she was in a tough situation where I think she was being pressured by other people, and um, bottom line is I learned to forgive. I had to just say, you know what? I totally forgive you. I do still think you should pay me back, and community service wouldn't hurt you. But I had to let go and just kind of, again, say, I'm not the one with the issue here. The person who would do something like that's the one with the issue. And if anything, I kind of feel bad for them. So forgiving was, the best thing to do in this specific situation. Um, Another one, I wrote these down. My last one is really just, I guess, as much as I talk about it, a failed marriage. A failed marriage is something that, upset me, obviously, with my ex because, you were supposed to be my knight in shining armor. You were supposed to, we were supposed to have a family together. And I think as important as maybe basketball was to him, marriage and family was to me. So you kind of like, I felt like you took away the most important thing that I could ever have wanted in my life. But, and then I was upset with myself. I went through stages of, you failed, what could you have done different? Or, just beating myself up. And finally, again, I had to, and I would say that I forgave him and I would say that I moved on, but, I'd still have some, some pain inside. And I had to like really like crack down and wholeheartedly forgive him. Just let go. Don't think about the past. Move forward. Again, knowing it's not you. It's nothing that you did. People make bad decisions all the time, and sometimes it really affects and hurts people. But forgiving them sets you free. And I had to forgive myself, which was a really tough one because as much as we say like I'm going to move on and forgive myself, I would catch myself really beating myself up and thinking about it. And that really wasn't healthy for me. It wasn't healthy for my kids. And, it's gotten my kids to have such a better relationship with their dad because I'd forgiven him. Had I not forgiven him and had I been negative and bitter about him the past 7 years, I don't think my children would feel the way that they do about him today. So that's probably the biggest gift I could have given them. I actually read somewhere that people would rather die than forgive in some situations. And it just like really, really confused me. I can imagine being stubborn, and I know that, the way I teach my kids is picture your life as like a target, like when you play darts and you've got your 50, your 40, your 30, your 20, your 10. Just because someone was in your 50 and maybe, they kind of like let you down, whatever, they don't have to stay in your 50. You don't have to throw them off the board. You can replace them. You could put them in your 20. You could put them in your 10. Some people may need to be removed off the board, but it doesn't mean that you have to hold on to the anger because it hurts nobody but you. And again, it's really hard. You hear every day that people are forgiving people. Oh, I forgive you. I'm sorry. And really, they haven't really accepted it. It's a conscious effort to really, really forgive. And it's probably the best gift you can give yourself. Thank you. And again, I hope you tune in next week. More great topics to come up.